we are. Hello. We're live. Yay. Electricity's working. Internet works. Air conditioning works. My goodness. How are you guys? I hope you're staying cool out there. My goodness. Hi, Canada Proud. I love those guys. Can't remember their names, but I love them. So, okay, I do have 16 questions over here, and I'll go through them one at a time, slide them over, and read on them. So, I just want to tell everybody ahead of time, if you want to get on next week's, if you have questions, well, anytime, actually, you can drop it in any of my videos, the daily videos, and I can save them for the live stream. I did a really long video yesterday that covered the chain of events. I know we did it yesterday. What am I saying? Seems like yesterday. We did it last week, or I did it for you guys last week using the Kipper, but I wanted to use the tarot. So that's uploaded as of yesterday. Hi, Mary. Hi, Durham. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Debbie. So anyway, what I wanted to just finish saying is that always check the new videos I've put out. If I haven't already read on it, I do have, I don't even know how many, there's probably a couple hundred playlists in there. And a lot of times the questions you guys ask me I've already read on, so you can check there. But if you want questions for next week, I put them in the post section where I add in on usually Saturday or Sunday, definitely on the weekend, so that you can get the questions in for this Thursday. So that's where I have 16 questions, or 15 plus. Hi, Pauline. How are you? I have 15 questions plus I'll do some cards for us, but anyway, so I do have a couple little astrology things. So first of all, we've gone through the new moon, and the full moon's coming in on August 9th at 17 degrees of Aquarius. So if you know where that lands in your chart, that house, that area of your life, could really, bring through something for you. So I love seeing that, especially in Aquarius. It can be very freeing and liberating, whatever it is. So anyway, like if it's in your first house, you might be kind of like reinventing yourself, or your second house, you might think of some new ways to make money, things like that, or stay safe, all of those second house issues. But then it's September. So September 7th, we have the full moon lunar eclipse coming up, and that's going to be at 15 degrees of Pisces. And so the deal with that is lunar eclipses, they bring through hidden information, new things come out, and then they create based on the information that comes out, they create like a turning point. And then 2 weeks later, the solar eclipse happens, which is always on the new moon. So for Trump, he's having the lunar eclipse. So lunar is it's more internal. It's about relationships. It's more about, he was born really close to a full moon. So for it to be a full moon lunar eclipse, every full moon lunar eclipse is going to be more important for people that are born on full moons. And for him, it's coming through in his 7th house of relationships. So it's not only his relationship with himself and his emotional reactions that he never seems to be able to control. It's all his relationship. So I think he's going to be losing more fans, is what I'm getting there. And then the solar eclipse comes in his 2nd house of money, because that one's at 29 degrees. That's if you use I use Placidus. If you use Placidus or Porphyry or Coke or the other unequal house systems, that's how it's coming through for me. If somebody else uses it, a different way. It could be in his first house. Either way, that's not going to be so good for him when that solar eclipse, the lunar eclipse, and then the solar eclipse is not, neither one of those are going to go well. And the last one, it was squaring exactly his moon and sun where it came in. Hi, Nathan. Hi, Aline. Hey, Sandy. Thank you so much. Hi, Teresa. Yay. Wait, somebody else said hi up here. Oh my goodness. I don't want to. Oh, Baby Blue. Hello from Central Illinois. Welcome. Hello. Nellie. I wanted to say hi to Nellie. Yeah. And everyone. I'd be here forever saying hi. Rick Talley's here. Oh, can't wait till you're done with your book. Oxford Cat. Hello. So, okay, I think that's it with the astrology, the up-to-date. I think we're up to date with that. So let me get over here into, hey, Rita, you did make it. Excellent. Stamford, Connecticut. Hey, Shirley Mearson, holistic health specialist. Ooh, somebody might need your help. You should put in if you have email or whatever you want to add. Nothing too personal. Unless you have a website, go ahead and put it in there. So, okay, let me get in here to the first question. Deborah, and bear with me because I have to put my own timestamps in. So I'm just going to start it at about 7 minutes in. Boy, I blabbed a lot for the astrology, didn't I? So, okay, this question is, how will Obama fare? Let's see. I think I'll go ahead and use the Lennies on this one. Yeah. Oh, I forgot. This creepy guy. But it's okay because I can do this on my desk with it. It's like, goes back over there in the dumpster. Okay, so Obama. Yeah. And then we have to go to Beyonce and Oprah. Yeah, but he's trying to he's trying to say, I don't know what he's trying to say about Beyonce and Oprah. You guys have to clue me in on that. Let me get back over here. Hey, Colette, South Carolina, right on. Oh, thank you, Karen. That's so sweet. Okay, so yeah, Eileen, you're troll. Yeah, I'm just babysitting it for you, right? Okay, so how's Obama gonna do? Trump is trying to say, he's accusing him of treason. Talk about nuck and futs, man. How will Obama do now that Trump has, the dumpster in the dumpster, now that Trump has decided to go after him for treason? And of course, yes, it's all a big distraction. But I have to just focus on Barack Obama. How are you going to do? Right there, okay. Well, I think he's free. He's just moving on. I think he's just going to vacation, do some more windsurfing, do all his other stuff. Maybe he'll go to Hawaii and cut a video for Trump and says, yeah, too bad you can't do this. Like, hang gliding off of something or whatever. You know how he rolls. Yeah. So there's freedom. There's abundance. Now this would be also a lot of news and a lot of movement. When it comes to the I don't know if this would be the actual document, or maybe it's just, shitheads post on Untruth Social. But for Obama, he's just going to go, oh, dude, give me a break. He's going to name it. Maybe this is Obama himself posting something on one of, social media.
saying that it is just a distraction and you're wrong and he'll have something to say about what you're nuts. And this is our social media card. And then the way it's going to go is there'll be a decision. If there's anything that happens, there would be a clear-cut decision to just block it. Like there's nothing. He doesn't have, this moron doesn't have. There's literally nothing he could. Yeah, and then Obama will just rise above it and move forward. So, okay, let's go with, and the next one, let me see if I can get it. I can put the timestamp in here. I'll say 11 minutes for, let's go with Queen Bee, Beyonce. Archie Bunker's birthday Saturday. Oh, that's a nice tidbit of information. Thank you. Thank you, Aline. Karina, it's okay if you're late. No big deal. We always have the replay. I'm talking about this time I'm reading on Beyonce. So the question's up on, I think if that's, I don't know if you're talking to me. You talking to me? Put the questions on the right here. So I read on Obama, next is Beyonce. So, and this one has to do with, I guess, the money they donated for Kamala's campaign. Trump is just such a dimwit. Okay. Taco. Donnie Two Dolls. Maybe I have to buy another troll. Oh, yeah, Rita, you just saw on TMZ that the orange wank maggot is saying he's going to pardon Diddy. Wow. He's just burying himself further in a hole. Okay, Beyonce. I can just see her like rolling her eyes up in her head. And I'm hearing Chrissy Teigen. You don't spell it out in there, but you can do the acronyms. If you remember what Chrissy Teigen said about orange wank maggot. Okay. Get him out of here. Beyonce, how are you going to do? How are you going to handle this? How will it go for you? The sad thing is that it costs money, to defend. If they're smart, like Obama could turn around and sue him. Maybe that's why we had some money cards in the beginning. Okay, anyway, Beyonce. Sorry, Beyonce. Right there. Yeah, she's like, nah, try again. Again, distraction, right? And you're wrong and you're an idiot kind of thing. And it'll be all over social media. She will respond in a very strong, protective way. And end it somehow. She'll end it somehow, maybe secretly, or maybe by going by the letter of the law. Could be on the books. Yeah, she could show, I don't know, maybe she'll have like some financial information, because this can be a card for like bookkeepers and accountants. So I'm wondering if she'll have some financial information that could prove that Trump's goal is just to cause pain and suffering. So that's how she's going to handle it. But she'll come out of it just fine. I've got the ring, like she'll bring something full circle. Um, and Trump's not going to like it because people are going to love her more the way she handles it. She's going to, you know, it'll be an opportunity where she becomes even more famous. And he looks like the silly old man. Okay. All right. So now Oprah at 15:30. Let's do that. Okay, I'll try to go faster. So how will Oprah do? How will this go for Oprah? This is so great. It's like I'm channeling them. She's like, Oprah's like, oh, please. Oh my God. Oh, yeah, well, let's try to furk around, as Libby would say over at Meister Tarot. Let's furk around with the real billionaires. Not the ones that ran from jail time or prison into the presidency only because of scrotus. Oh, God. Okay, Oprah. She's like, I can feel it. Okay, but how will she do? Because there will be a pushback if there's actually a legal thing that happens. I don't know. Do you guys know anything about? Has he actually like filed papers? Yeah, Taco Man. I hear you, Debsy. Hoping that they would settle out of court. So far, I haven't gotten a court card. I haven't gotten the little tower. So yeah, Rev Sharpton can sue if he needs to. That's for darn sure. Yeah. Hello, Acadian Proud. Hey, Raymond. I love your quotes. Whenever men rule by reason of their wealth, whether they be few or many, that is an oligarchy. Aristotle. Yeah. Actually, Cheese Eater, you need to do a fact check on that because it wasn't true. She left her gates open. Okay. How will Oprah fare with this one? Right there. Well, she's got a really solid foundation in a lot of choices. She'll speak up. Protection against the abuse. It'll go far and wide. She may bring legal charges. And if so, they'll be all over. So it'll be all over social media. And he will be, for her, it's like a very cunning in this situation. I think she'll prove that he's wrong and that it's a very, it's a distraction, but it's also a very cunning move to work things to her advantage. And she would win. She'll win. Excuse me, guys. Okay. You believe Beyonce and Oprah are nowhere near innocent? Well, anybody can donate. He's suing for, Trump is suing for donating to, I think it was just for donations. If I'm wrong about that, clue me in, but do your research first. Okay. Let me get on to the next one. Hold on, I need water here. Let's see. This one, I can. Oh, yeah, and thank you, Deborah, for that question. That was good. I had a lot of good questions. I just couldn't do all of them. Okay, here we go. So this one has to do with Dems are demanding. Oh, yeah, I remember this one. It's my question. So I think I will go. I'll stick with the Lennies because it's a simple question. The Dems are demanding, so they're using like a wait. What's it called? Hold on, I have my notes over here. They're invoking a rarely used provision that requires an executive branch agency to hand over. So they're, saying Pam Bondi, DOJ, you got to hand over the requested information when it's requested by at least 5 members. It was like the law of 5 or something, of the Senate's Homeland Security and Government Affairs Committee. So Schumer started it. He called for the FBI to conduct a counterintelligence threat assessment related to the files. It's all about getting the Epstein files out. He wants a full and complete. He wants a DOJ. He wants Pam Bondi to turn over the full and complete Epstein files. So, will she? Will she? No matter how much time it may take. But he's asking by August 15th. That's a couple weeks away. There. Oh, yeah. This is the card of giving. And the bear is big. So I'm thinking that's it. And here would be the files, especially the hidden files. And yeah, then he would have them with the anchor. That's the goal would be complete. Wow. Okay. That's that. I'm happy to know that. That is excellent. Oh, and of course I forgot to write down what time. I'm just gonna have to check it. I think it was about 20, somewhere in there. Okay. So let me get on to the next one. Annette, is the drippy taco blackmailing people on the Epstein list, saying I'll release the list if you don't pay me? Okay. So 2230, there we go. Is that happening? Is he blackmailing? Is he extorting? Is Trump blackmailing people on the list? He knows his name's in there. Well, more than a name. That's the thing. Just the list of names, contacts, that's nothing, right? Okay. And yeah, I bet there is. You guys, you're right about that. Having more than one copy, of course. Yeah. Hey, Nancy. Your Aquarian sun to have the full moon somewhere around there. Do you know what degree? That would be great to have the full moon on your sun. Katie and Proud says the Pentagon transferred $934 million from a $77.7 billion project to modernize U.S. ground-based nuclear missiles to find a classified Trump plane project. I'll just have to save this for later. I can't take any extra questions today, but thanks, Katie. That's a good one. I always tell you guys before every live stream, I've been saying it for like the last month or so, at least, you got to put the questions in the post section so that I can put them into this program and slide the questions over. Otherwise, it's not easy for people watching the replay. I'd have to keep repeating the question over and over. So when I post for questions, put your question in there, okay? So you got to make sure you're subscribed. And I know you are. You wouldn't be able to put a comment in here. But if you have, the little notification bell, you have to have it set to all, and then it'll pop up in your feed. But a lot of people are subscribed, but they don't set their notifications. And I know they can be annoying. Okay, so darn it, hair in my nose there. What is he doing? Is he blackmailing or not? Yes or no? Is he blackmailing people? Yes. Yes. 2 yeses in a row. So I'm going to clock that at 24 something because I was blabbing about the other things. Okay, let me get back over here. Okay, that one's taken care of. And there we go. Darla wants to know. Oh, good. Okay, this is another yes or no. So let's put it at 26. Okay. Does Ghislane Maxwell have it set up to leak what she knows if she's done in? I don't think she's at a maximum security prison. You guys correct me if I'm wrong on that. Oh. Thank you, Acadian Proud. Yeah, I know. It's like it's just a silly way I have to do it to make it run more smoothly and get the timestamps in and all of that. Yeah, bigly, yes, right, Debsy? Okay, but does Maxwell, on this question, does she have it set up to leak what she knows if she's done in? Yes or no on that? Oops. Yeah. 2 yeses. Yeah, it's kind of like Club Fed. Is it that lax, Mark? Evelyn Hartman, you're saying, yeah, she's not in a really safe prison? Yeah. I don't think so. Okay, so Sterling Roses. Yeah, I put all the Ghislane Maxwell questions together just to get them over with. So, and while I'm in it, So Cheesy Taco says he wants to know names from Ghislane Maxwell. Is the Cheesy Taco wanting those names to bring public harm to those people? Okay, so 28. Okay, again with a yes or no, this one's easy. Okay, so is he wanting to bring public harm to them? Aaron, yes. I mean, of course. That's how he rolls. He's on a revenge tour. Yeah, I mean, definitely. Yeah. 2 yeses. 3 yeses, actually, if I kept going. Okay. All right. So thank you for that question, Sterling. Sandy, hey there. Did Drumpfy himself inform the police of Epstein's activities? Okay. Oh, Michael Wolff is saying, okay. Epstein's biographer. Okay, he's making the claim. All right. So let's see. Is that true? And we're at about 28. I'll say 28.50. Did Donnie Taco 2 Dolls himself inform the police of Epstein's activities? Yes or no? Did he rat out Epstein? Whoa. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Thank you for that question. Okay. This one's from me at, I'm going to say 29.50. It'll take me a while to get there, or a minute, or a little bit. Will Trump give Ghislaine a commutation or a pardon? Will he actually do it?
I mean, if he's dumb enough to do it to Diddy, God, or do it for. Jeez. And that guy had crap come out about him in the late 90s. It's like, this has been going on for way too long. Oh, goodness. Okay. Will Trump give Ghislaine commutation on her sentence or just an outright pardon? Right there. Oh, well, that's interesting. I've got to know. But then the next question, the next one's a yes. So maybe I'm wondering if something happens in between. Yeah, I guess I'll just have to let it sit for a while because it makes sense. It makes perfect logically, it makes perfect sense to me that he would, but I'm wondering if there's a reason why he doesn't, maybe it's the maybe it's the dirt nap. Pretend it's a coffin. It's a dirt nap. Wouldn't that be funny? And if it had wheels that squeaked and it instead of an in-state presidential whatever funeral, it's a dumpster that goes out and it's just wheeled. Oh my God! Make America great again. Oh crap! Oh, okay. So Shirley Mearson. Okay. Oh, and here we are with the funeral. Oh, God. I stepped right into that one. Let's call it 3220. And normal protocol would be to have an elaborate funeral for a president. Will it happen this way? I cannot imagine that America needs more crap. It would be disgusting. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, let me just, I'll just ask yes or no and see what I get. And then maybe go from there. But when it happens, will he have the normal protocol for a presidential funeral? When it happens, will he have wow, okay. I won't say what I'm hearing just in cases. Well, will he have a presidential funeral? I've got a no on that. So I'm going to use a kipper and ask, why not? Why not? I'm sure you guys could imagine a few reasons, but let's see. Why not? Well, maybe he's missing. Maybe he's missing and even his clan can't find him because he's run off. It doesn't, I can't say this is overseas, but, or maybe actually, oh my goodness, you guys, hold on. Maybe I'm supposed to read these cards in a different way. Oh, please let this be right. There's waiting and helplessness within both branches of government, like the whole institution of our government. And something has changed to where we see him as not healthy enough, or maybe he is down in a way that he's not ambulatory. And I'm saying this as best as I can, but and he either secrets are out and he's locked up. Oh my God, please, yes. Or either that, or dang it, don't you hate it when you get a hair in your mouth? Either locked up or restricted. Now, if I put these two cards together, this is like being restricted in your body, like a stroke where you can't move. It could be that. And then there are all these complaints and investigations into his business partnerships and subpoenas, and people come and give depositions to, because maybe there's a trial that happens by then. Oh, please let this be true. And there's a whole community of people, including Melania, who just don't want to have anything to do with him anymore. And there's something about working with like human trafficking going on, stealing human and lying about it and cheating about it. And he's building, you know what this is, you guys? He's building up a bunch of enemies because of his strategy to just go in and take people and use them he's going to be filling the prisons with like that's what he's trying to do, is get slave labor. And there are rules and regulations against that kind of movement of children. I mean, ICE is literally kidnapping, right? So it looks to me like a lot of people are going to band together to put that down, because, wow. You know how, this was like half the deck. Look how many cards I went through, and I didn't get any other people cards except for Melania. That tells me that all the other people cards are in this other half, and yeah, they are. Oh, here's his card. Hold on, let me see what was coming up behind him. Yeah, same old. He's just lost it. His brain is just he's gone. And over time, his reputation as a drug addict is going to cause him major problems that he can't get out from under, and he's self-medicating and self-sabotaging himself. And here he is, and all he can do is just dream about young women, but nobody wants to have anything to do with him. And evidence comes out, and I think he croaks, but not in a good way. Right? And then here's all the people cards after that, and they're all around the money in his inner circle. Wow. Yeah. Stuff's going to come out. More and more and more it's going to come out. Okay. What a great question, Shirley. Thank you for that one. I never would have thought of a question like that. Okay, this one is, oh wait, hold on, let me see, yeah, okay, I'm good there. Let me check in with you guys. You guys doing okay? Yeah, people don't like pedophiles, do they? Yeah. JR, put your questions in and save that and put it into the post for next week. Right? Okay, because I'm not taking any extra questions this week. I already have 15. So, okay. Bingo, bongo, oingo, boingo, Dan Bongino. Boy, that's as hard to say as beach. What was that? What was her? with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Oh my goodness. Bleach, blonde, bad, built, butch body. That one's easier to say. This one's really hard to say. Anyway, I call him Bondingo because he's like, yeah. So anyway, threatened to leave the DOJ. Dan Bongino threatened to leave the DOJ. I'm putting in the timestamps here. Mid-July, was absent for a time. Now he's back making more noise than ever. Okay, is he in or is he out? Dan Bongino. Yeah, you're welcome, JR. Thank you so much for bearing with me. It's just the only way I can do it to stay organized here and have the questions show up on the screen, which is what really needs to happen. Okay, so is he in or is he out of the DOJ? Is he in or out? Bongino. Are you staying for a while at least? Or are you out of town? Are you done? I can imagine being done. Well, I think he's cutting and leaving because he doesn't want to do it. And I don't know if there's something about a woman in his life that maybe he's put some boundaries on him. I don't know. Did he have trouble? Was he the one that was complaining about not seeing his wife? Or there was a separation? That's what it was. Oh yeah, this would be that separation thing there. And then needing to improve his life and make changes emotionally. Here's his wife. And here's the legal divorce. She might be taking him to the cleaners. Here's social media and the way he interacts with the public. He could do better as a podcaster or whatever he was doing before. But yeah, no, he wants to minimize. I think he wants to minimize his commitment to Trump. So yeah, okay. Thank you for that one. Let's get back over here. And Barbara, do I see jail time for Bill Clinton? I'll ask a yes or no with this one because of his associations with Epstein. Bill Clinton, yes or no to jail time? I think he's has some either dementia or early stages of Alzheimer's going on. Okay, will he do any jail time? Yeah, I've got a no on that one. I forgot to write down the darn time, so I'm just going to put 42 somewhere in there. Okay, there we are. Thank you for that question. Okay, which doesn't mean he's not guilty. I just didn't see jail. Okay, so as King Orange angered Murdoch to the point that he's into the payback mode for quite a while. Yeah, like well, Rupert. Let's see. What's Rupert? What's Rupert gonna do in the future? I feel like using the tarot with this one. Actually, maybe this one. Maybe it's time for the Russian deck. Oh, I can't do that on my thumb. I cut my thumb still. No kitty time today? Oh, hold on. Lily. Hey, Lily.
For the kiddies out there, maybe I have to slow down. I need something. Yeah, right. Innocent potato. No kidding. I lost respect for Hillary just for not dumping his ass. And I guess it was a hard decision for her, but whatever. To me, those kind of things are just so easy to. Yeah. Okay. That's just me. I shouldn't have my judgments, but anyway. Yes, you're right about that, Lois. Right? Taco Man wants to speed up the deposition of Murdoch in case he dies. Well, I think he needs to worry about his own. What an idiot. Oh, this one's popping out. Okay, that's interesting. So here's Rupert Murdoch trying to figure out which thing to throw at him next. Because he's the one with all the money. And he's the one with all the resources to all the news all over the world. He's got the drip. I mean, he's the one that released well, he hasn't totally released it, but he's talked about it. So I think, hey, Mimi, I think, I think he's just gonna okay, well, what do we want to look at next? Look at that eyeball there. Check that out. And then he's laughing. That's hilarious. And then he's looking at Trump like, here's that little tiny heart. What am I going to do? This is, here, hold on. Let me grab my deck if I can get to it. To switch around, to just so you can see. Okay. This deck, it's like, the heart, the little heart there. In the normal tarot, it is bam. Okay. So he is going to go, I don't care. Let's poke that heart a little bit. It's like he's got his own personal voodoo doll. And then I had 3 cards that flip over, and he's just going to keep going for it to put more out there. This is the 6 of Wands, so it's about being seen. And, he's the strong guy that can get to the top. I don't care if he's 94. He'll knowing him, he might live to be 104. So, yeah, he's going to be in payback mode for quite a while, I think. Let me see if I can get some timing on that. Yeah, what, right, Eva? Ouch. Okay. Yeah, Rupert Murdoch's 94. Okay, so yeah, I think he was born in 1931, if I remember correctly. So, how long? How long is Rupert going to be in payback mode? How long will he be poking him? Right, scorched earth, snuffleupagus. I surprised I didn't get the 5 of Swords. Oh, because that would be defeat and loss. Yeah, it can be murder, rape, scorched earth. It can be. But I think we could say he'll go scorched earth anyway. So how long? There. Well, God. So he's just going to be, how like birds, they fly around and they drop things, I feel like, well, it's going to be more than 17 days. So for me, this is a springtime card, or when the seasons change. So I don't think this is going to be done by the beginning of winter. I feel like I really think I probably should go with springtime, like to next spring.
Then the next card, this one has to do with complications and betrayal, like the thing that can bite, right? He's just going to keep biting. He's going to keep like poking the bear, and he's getting things from far and wide, like I was saying, like all over the world. And here's the secrets that keep coming, just keep coming out, to purify, to bring through the truth out into the news and until he's done and Trump is proven to be guilty. Ruh-roh. Oh my God. Oh, okay. Let's get back over here. Yeah, thank you, V-Rock, for that question. That was great. Okay, Ned Como, I can't pronounce your name. Sorry. Our Clarence Thomas. So our Clarence and Jenny Thomas, are either one of them? Wouldn't it be more Clarence than Jenny? But let me just focus on Clarence. You know what? They're both joined at the hip. That's probably why you put the names in there together, because they definitely are. So here we are at 51, 20, I'll say 25. Okay. Are they joined? They are joined at the hip. Are they in the Epstein files as more than a contact? Yeah, why would anybody be hitting up the justice, not chief justice, but a justice on the bench? Is Clarence Thomas? Is Clarence Thomas? I mean, we know he was just totally out of integrity. Is he in the Epstein files? Oh, that's weird. I've got a no. Got 2 no's there. 3 no's if I keep going. So he's creepy, but not that creepy, I guess. Okay. Unless I'm wrong. I can always be wrong, you guys. I mean, if us readers and psychics, even evidentiary mediums and all of that, if we're right 80% of the time, 75% of the time, we're doing really, really well. So, okay. This one, Janine, and we are at 52. Okay. Will Yappasaurus Rex ever have, or has he ever had, a moment of intense self-loathing because of what he has done to women? Okay. Does he realize on any level how pathetic he is? Okay. No. He's just oblivious. I think he's had a whole lifetime of just numbing out. Yeah. Okay. Durham. Hey, Durham. So 53. All right. Okay. Durham got a flash about ice where he heard the hunters will become the hunted. Oh, okay. Do I see, will a person or people go after ICE agents? Okay. Trying to figure out which. You know what? Maybe I'll use a deck of character with this one, just for fun. Although, well, I may have to switch, but we'll see. So, will anyone wind up going after ICE agents? mean, they are terrorizing neighborhoods all over the place. It's just so awful. It's heartbreaking. What's that that is it the first line or one of the, well, it's the most important statement of the Constitution about, I think they changed it from self-evident into sacred, but we hold these truths as self-evident. I say sacred, that all men are created. I would put women in there too, but they didn't go there in those days, and they all held slaves. But anyway, the statement was that all people, is what I'm going to say, are created equal, and have unalienable God-given rights, or from their creator, I think is the way from their creator, and to pursue life, liberty, and happiness. Well, how can you be happy if you're a slave? Is anybody going to go after the ICE agents? Well, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, because maybe there's a gearing up for it. If you read it just symbolically and don't even call it a treadmill, it's kind of like, well, but you get stronger on a treadmill, and then you actually go. But I've got the whole. So, and then island and river. I get the feeling that there's something about people coming back from, and it might have to do literally with something that happens on Alcatraz Island, and they go into the water. And that could cause some problems. I've got angsty teen, so that could be somebody who's really angry, that doesn't, yeah. And then I've got the knight that wants to protect. Angsty teen in the night. Someone who flips, loses their, yeah, it's possible. I'll go ahead and switch to another deck, because this one's just not in it. These cards are so darn slippery. Let me just move that there. Let's use this deck. Okay, so will somebody go after ICE agents? Will people start going after ICE agents? I mean, they aren't even real police, and they're not real ICE agents, is the thing. Maybe that's why we had that knight with armor where you can't see. And it could even be someone like losing a teenager with that angsty teen, trying to protect the teenager. Oh my goodness, it's such an awful. Okay, right there. Yeah, there's something about children, and there's a goal to come together to create peace, but in a legal way, where people are seeing things new. But as far as, let's see, I mean, I don't have. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Oh, this does. Oh, if I look at it just for short term, so it's a short term, making different choices, going in different directions, and being like at a crossroads. and then something to do with the moving of people around that just makes, this would be our what do you call these people, the ice agents, but they're not real ice agents, the bounty hunter kind of people in this like clan, and then they're super guilty, and over time the whole family, I'm thinking families come together, and there's some legal action that comes through. Oh yeah, definitely, because we've got what I'm getting here, Darba, is that it's not one person, it's a bunch of people that are going to come together, but it's going to happen based on these other cards in the beginning. It's going to happen through the legal system. I think it's the legal system that's going to stop him, because this isn't legal. And remember that other reading where it looked like it had to do with kidnapping and all of that? Yeah, I think that's how it's going to go. So the ICE agents, because they could turn around and become the hunted if enough people come together and say, you can't do this, and then they get thrown in jail. Yeah. How do you like them apples, right? Okay, so here we are. The last question, then I'll do a reading for you guys. I want to know if, I'll just go with a yes or no, because so far Kamala has decided to not, and this is what I was waiting for her to decide, and I have been purposely not putting any energy on her. Wanted to give her lots of space, because she was trying to decide whether to run for governor, and in California, and if she'd done that, I've got to put timestamp here. 2. Okay. Darn it. Okay. If she would have run for governor, then that would have gone from 2026 for 4 years. And can't do president if you're doing that. So, and I know a lot of people say she could become AG or something, but I just want to know, I'm not looking at that. I'm just looking at, will she take her rightful place? Will some miracle happen that gets her into back into the White House, only this time in the West Wing? Will she? So the first part of this is, will she get into the White House before? Oops, this card's moving around. Before the election in 2028, will she get back into her right? Because we know she won. And they're proving it. The Election Truth Alliance and Smart Elections, they're proving it. Everybody go and donate they both have YouTube channels. If you can donate and help them out, because it's the legal expenses are they're fighting against several different states that are not cooperating, like Pennsylvania. So they need legal fundage. Will she take her rightful place? Yeah, darn it. I've got a no on that. There's a lot in flux. So let me see. Will she run for POTUS? And I could be wrong on this too. Don't hold it as like anything, for entertainment only, except I'm not very entertaining. Okay, so will she run for POTUS in 2028, and when? Will Kamala run for president of the United States in 2028, and when? Will she run
I do have a yes. I do have a yes there. You know, that would explain, because that's the thing when it comes to in the spiritual realm, there's no time space continuum. There's no such thing as time. It's the planet Saturn that holds. Blame it on Saturn. That holds the time space, the dualistic, time space continuum here on Earth. And that's so that we can learn. And because in the spiritual realm, when you think of something and you feel it, you're there, and there are all these different hierarchies of realms, so that you get to learn that at the highest level, you can't even have a negative thought. You just, it's so love, it's just blissed out. You can't have a negative thought. But in a lot of other lower levels, you can move around, more, well, you can visit. But here on Earth, we have a lot of downtime to figure out where we have gone wrong, and we can try out new things all the time. So it makes sense to me that, because remember how many, oh goodness, hold on. Angie, thank you so much for the super sticker. And Laura, thank you. Yes. It helps me out because I don't put the mid rolls in, trusting that you guys can donate if you can. But anyway, everybody, Lori over at the Way of Positive Change, she was the only one. And then towards the end, then I started, oh yeah, you know what? Something's weird. Lori kept always getting the 4 of Swords for Kamala. And we were both, we kept going back and forth. Is it a health issue? Like, why? Because that's not like, when you get the 4 of Swords for the outcome card, it's like, you're not upright, moving around, doing things. You're trying to heal, right? And then, of course, the election was stolen. But a lot of really good psychics and mediums and other people got that she would win. And then they felt terrible when they were wrong. But the thing is, maybe they were just in that other, time-space continuum where it'll be in 2028. Or actually, she would be sworn in 2029, right? So, talk about patience. My goodness. Okay, so what do you guys need to know for the full moon, or to get us between today, July 31st, and up to the full moon on August 9th? So a little more than a week. So I'll check in with you next week too. So let's see, what do we need to know? What do we need to know? Oh, and I need to put a timestamp in here. 1:08. Okay. What do we need to know? What would help us the most? What information would help us the most for this next 9, 10 days? Right there. Okay. Oh, here's the full moon. So the full moon card is coming through to say, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to look inside and reflect and do a lot of dream work. Set your intentions during dream time before you go to sleep. One thing that I always like doing is to ask one night, and I always give them carte blanche, in case I forget. But I ask my guides and my guardian angels to always work on my body and heal anything that's, so you don't wake up sore if you overdid it. You just ask for health and healing and whatever you want, actually. But you have to come from that perspective of being in it, already feeling it, already being in it, and not being in fear. And, just to put yourself through that gateway where
anything is possible and all is possible. And there are unlimited possibilities rather than going into fear. And then, especially when it comes to things being taken away. And now also too, this would be a good thing to be careful with your information that's online. Be careful about opening emails. If you see something that looks kind of scary and kind of, like, what is this? Is this a real thing? Like, don't, like, never open any hot links or anything. And when you know it's spam, just go to the address, click on it, and block it. All right, so that they don't come back, and then put it. If it doesn't automatically put it in your spam folder, move it yourself to your spam or junk folder. Because this can be somebody trying to sneak away and get something that's yours and not theirs. And then, I think we had this card for last week where it was just keep working, one foot in front of the other, stay really grounded, get outside, get your nature time in. When it comes to work, the work that you do, give your best. Be in integrity. And if you have horses, gotta be extra careful that they get enough water and their shade and taken care of in all this heat. And then just keep planting those seeds of whatever it is you're trying to manifest. Because this next 10 days leading up to the full moon, by the full moon, you could have it, whatever it is. But what you're going to want to do is to sit in already having it. Remember that just about anything that you can conceive of, you can create. You just have to remember you have all the tools within you, and you can be the magician for your own life, and just keep going for it. Figure out what you really want, because if you don't know what you want, it's like, who was that Bono that said years ago, if you don't know what you want, you're screwed. Figure out what you want. And you can always change your mind. And then just keep looking from that higher perspective. And especially if you're looking for a new job, just see it as you already have it. And maybe you want to be self-employed, or you're going to retire and you're thinking of hobbies. Focus in on what you want. So, okay, that's it. Thanks, you guys, for hanging out with me. I absolutely loved your questions. And I'm going to have some fun putting the timestamps in and seeing your comments that was in the chat, because I wasn't able to do that. So now it's going to be my fun time. Bye, everyone. Take good care.